You can't be a little pregnant, but in the 2020s, you might be a little retired. This is how Kiplinger's Personal Finance sums up one of the coming retirement trends for 2022.
Now, we know, we've talked about this for a long time, and we're kind of this hybrid retirement. You don't have to be all or nothing when it comes to retirement, right? We've talked about it for over a year and a half on this channel. The idea is it used to be people thought of retirement, okay, I turned 65, 67, whatever, I'm done, I start collecting my pension, my 401k, and I'm just sitting on the rocker or going out fishing every day. That's not actually how most people are retiring today. What Kiplinger's Personal Finance points out is many people retire from their 9-to-5 job or their career, and then they pursue something that interests them, like maybe one of our clients.
So this client is actually a great friend of ours, and she worked in corporate America for many, many years.
Yep, Fortune 500 company.
Exactly, just in the corporate office. And when she was 66 years old, she retired from that and decided she wanted to do something a little different, something she always thought she'd love with some flexibility. And so she went and studied to become an esthetician. And she still does facials. To this day, into her 70s, she gives facials. It's something she can do that's flexible, that she loves. She makes her own schedule. And she's still semi-retired.
Yeah, just a couple days a week is all she really does that. So she's mostly retired at this point, but she just does it a couple days a week. She likes her clients, their friends. They come in a couple times a week, gives her something to do, gives her a purpose. It's one of the ways that she's making the rest of her life the best of her life. Again, we've talked about this trend for a year and a half. Kiplinger's now in December 2021, finally puts it to print.
The second change that Kiplinger's points out is evolving entitlement programs. So what do we mean when we talk about that?
Social Security and Medicare primarily. I mean, we've heard the horror stories, right? Social Security won't be able to pay full benefits in 2032 or 2033. We hear these headlines, and they're clickbait headlines, right? And the fact of the matter is, without any changes, they won't be able to pay all of the benefits they've promised. So what will happen in the coming decade? Well, the most likely outcome, and it's been this way for years, is that changes will be made on those not nearing retirement. I want to say that again. People like our age, where we thought maybe we'd collect full benefits at 67, the most likely outcome is those will be delayed to 69 or 70, maybe even beyond. And that's how they'll adjust the entitlement program to ensure that the programs maintain solvency and can pay the claims that they've promised to people. So that's one of the things. The other thing is Medicare. Medicare also is having some trouble. Why? Healthcare costs are out of control. One of the things that Medicare will do to control costs is actually the third trend in retirement that Kiplinger's Personal Finance talks about.
And that is a tech revolution in healthcare. Now, we are already seeing this. It was around a little bit before COVID, but COVID really kicked it into high gear.
Yeah, the telehealth, right? How many people pulled out their phone or their iPad and were able to talk to a nurse or a doctor and get a prescription without actually going into the office? That was kind of unheard of before COVID. That's going to become the norm. In fact, I was telling Amber just about 2 days ago about a health insurance company that's their whole model to reducing costs. If you are sick or not feeling well, you don't call the doctor. You open the app on your phone and you talk to a health insurance representative who's most likely a nurse line, who then kind of walks through and says, okay, what do these symptoms look like? Do you need to go into a doctor? Do you need to go to an urgent care or an ER? Or can this go to telehealth? And if it can go to telehealth, they'll connect you directly with the doctor, who could then visit with you and prescribe medication if that's what you need, bypassing the receptionist at the doctor's office, bypassing the office building altogether, the nurse that comes in and does all that. We can bypass that to save costs. The other thing that they're doing is they're saying, if you do need care, maybe you go to the doctor and the doctor's office says, okay, you need a procedure. They have a list of the costs of all the hospitals and clinics in your area, and they can actually direct you to the lower cost providers to, again, save money. As a result, their premiums are lower than a lot of the big insurance companies out there. So that technology in healthcare will be a big change in the coming years.
Now, this might seem a little bit scary. You'll think, well, can I really see my heart doctor over telemedicine? Probably not something like that, but there are a lot of things that you can see a doctor for that doesn't have to be in person. For example, my son saw his dermatologist just over video chat, and it worked out just fine, and she saw his face and pictures of the area that we were concerned about, and she was able to prescribe him medicine that way. Things like that are pretty simple to do over telemedicine.
But also using that technology, Amber, to reduce costs. And there was an article written in Time magazine many years ago about how the same procedure in the same zip code can vary in cost up to tens of thousands of dollars. And so by knowing what those costs are, billed to the insurance company, they can start directing people to the lower cost facilities and doctors. What's that going to do with the higher costs? They're going to start bringing those costs down to match competition. So this technology will help consumers all around, hopefully keeping a cap on the costs for healthcare. That'll also shore up Medicare, we hope.
So to stay up to date on all of these trends, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. And if you feel like you still need a little more help with your planning, you can go to workwithnewgen.com to schedule a 15-minute phone call with us.
Because you can make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Plan now to retire happy.